Hey everybody, this is Susie Schulten with Midget Realty, and I'm going to show you today one of the most unique properties in Brigands Bay here in Frisco, North Carolina. We are currently at 50248 Snug Harbor Drive. This is a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath house built in 1990. Very modern, not updated modern in style. And it has 3,100 square feet roughly in this home. It is canal front, and it is overgrown, so some of this stuff is going to be difficult to see. So we'll start right here with the driveway. You've got a double driveway with a tree right in the middle, a nice big pine tree, and the driveway is cracking, pushing. I'm sure these roots are just pushing up everywhere. So the driveway's in pretty rough shape. It's usable, but I mean, you've got this giant pop up here. Before we head in, we do have the HVAC systems right here, so let's give those a look. I will let you know that this house is listed by Trisha Midget of Midget Realty, and anything that we discuss is just my opinion, and you would want to get everything followed up by an inspector, and I'll show you why. Okay, 2 units out here. This one looks relatively newer. Yep, 2020, so it's in decent shape. This one, let's see if I can see a date on here. Not one readily available. Date of manufacture 2009. There we go. And it also looks to be in good shape. We'll do a little outside tour. So there's a missing board. I will say that I have tried to prep the house before we do the tour, and I was unable to open any of the sliding doors. There are some that you don't want to open because going out there would be treacherous. So that doorway comes out of the garage, so we'll see that when we go inside. I did bring my husband along today, so if you see him wandering around in the video, he's here to give me a second set of eyes. Here's the canal. So again, very overgrown, very private and beautiful. Let's give a quick look to the bulkhead, and I'm not a bulkhead expert, but I'll tell you what I see. So what I see is that there's a large gap of space between the bulkhead and the land, and they've got these big tie rods going in. I can't tell from this angle if this bulkhead is bowed. I will say you'll have to do some fill or a bridge or something to be able to get out to do any kind of a boat dock. As you can see through the trees here at the neighbor's houses, boat docks are permitted. We'll get it's starting to rain a little bit. Quick look at the back side of the house. We do have some storm shutters up. It's a decent sized lot. I mean, you can see how big the lot is for Brigands Bay. Most of our lots are small, so I'm guessing this is a double lot. Mrs. Moore, who was the previous tenant in this property, owner of this property, she was 94 years old when she was taken out of this home. And, you know, someone of that age is not doing a whole lot of maintenance on the house. They're just living in it. So, God rest her, she's lived here for a long time and did her best. All right, so you've got this tree growing right up under the deck here. I think that probably needs to go. Beautiful street. Snug Harbor Drive is the very first street when you come into Brigands Bay. All right, let's head on inside. So very modern design, lots of levels on this house. You initially come into a tile floor entryway. Those stairs lead up to the first living level, but let's check out down here first. You've got a coat closet. Odd little fall off space there. There are some steps, but you're gonna have to be careful there. This leads into the garage space. Now, there's a water line on the bottom of that door. Flood, potentially. It is a good distance up from the canal to come to this place, so I'm not sure exactly why a flood. They've obviously cut the bottom part of these walls and put in things that can get wet or break away. So at some point there's been water in here. There is a central vac system there. There was an intercom system. So sometimes you'll see the intercom system, sometimes you'll see the hole where it was. You can see this is, I can see air around this garage door, so not well sealed. You're not storing anything in here. That is not going to be okay with moisture, which is kind of why I'm surprised that someone did some drywall work down here. There's that door we were talking about that leads out to the back deck. You've got a slop sink here. There is the half bath down here. Let's see if I have the light. There we go. So half bath here. They've ripped out some drywall here that was a problem, but didn't replace anything. Here's one of the HVAC systems, and you can see the amount of rust down there. I'm guessing from water damage. There's the original front door. Very pretty teak front door. Lots of mold. We have found mold in other places in the house. There's some ceiling that's been removed here. There's mold here. Is it something that needs to have the whole house be treated? I don't know. I'm not a mold expert, but I would say you need to rip that out. All right, back here into a utility room. There's a lot in here that I don't understand. A whole wall full of plumbing. There's the central vac. The hot water heater is elevated just in case of flooding. It is currently, the water lines are disconnected. And then there's all this plumbing in the ceiling that I'm just not real sure about. So definitely worth having someone with more expertise than myself to come in here and look at everything. Looks like there's a generator hookup here. That's what that is. Valve to turn off all water in the house. That's good. So that just must be the water system for the house. I don't know. A lot going on in here. All right, let's head on up and keep on exploring. All right, so we're back to the main entry door. And all the staircases are very open. Wood's in good shape. All right, so this becomes the first living level, but I'm not real sure if this was a game room because you have a kitchen, but there's a kitchen upstairs. So I don't know, maybe she couldn't get to the upper levels and they remodeled. I'm not real sure why, but it's a wonderful space. It's huge, big, huge game room space, if you want to call it that. Again, I cannot get either of these beautiful doors open, and there's a gorgeous tree. I mean, that is a really nice, beautiful tree. This is sheet vinyl on the floor in here. Wood ceiling, lots and lots of can lights. I've pushed every switch I can find, and some lights come on and some don't. So I don't know if that's bulbs, not real sure. So then you have a room off of the kitchen. Again, that looks like a sink port here where you would have some sort of sink. I don't know if she did artwork. Lots of, big beams that go outside and inside, coming through the walls. Carpet in here, nasty carpet. Lots of just, wires hanging out of the ceiling. I don't know if she spent her last days in this room, and they had to have some kind of stuff for her. There's where the intercom would be. I'm guessing this is a door to the outside. Yeah, I can't get that open either. Mystery door. All right, so this room also has an entrance from the hall. Let's go to the other side here. There was a leak in one of the bathrooms somewhere, so flooring has been removed. I believe this house is going to take a cash buyer. Rooms are huge. I mean, this is also just a gigantic room. You have lots of lights, lots of windows. There's a sink behind a door. Lots of extra little sinks. That's interesting. That's built like that. That bowed out piece of wood that's meant to be there. Huh, interesting. I mean, just fantastic space here. But anyway, I think you're going to have to get a construction loan for this property or cash because there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And most banks will want to resell this, and you cannot resell without flooring. And there's a good bit of the house that does not have flooring. All right, so here's another bathroom. And the way this is set up is you have a shower room here that is tiled and with a door that closes and completely separate from the commode and the sink. So kind of smart in that they're separate. Lots of nice high quality like cabinetry and things. And then you have a big storage closet here, linen closet, I would assume, with the way that it's set up. And then another room. So far we've already seen 3 things that could be bedrooms. Here's that, look at that deck out there. And again, none of these doors open. You can see damage out there that needs to be repaired. This deck you could actually walk on. Upstairs, no. You get another room with a sink in it. This floor is actively wet. Don't know why it's actively wet because the water's turned off, right? We saw that downstairs, but this is wet. My husband touched it. My feet slide around on it. You've got mold up here in that drywall. Ugh. There's a bunch, there's water damage there. Let's see, above that light, so you can see that it just needs to be ripped out. I mean, that's just gross. But yeah, actively wet floor. And it is raining today, but it hasn't rained hard enough for that. So yeah, not real sure what's going on there. And we still have another whole level to go. So let's go. So again, this is the first living level, kitchenette, keep that in mind, and 3 rooms, 2 of which look like bedrooms, one that could be an office, another bedroom. Legally, the house is 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. I mean, look at this entryway. It's crazy. The stairs again, beautiful. All right, so now we're on the top floor. There are still some hurricane shutters up on windows, so that would be a lot more light. It is very cloudy today. Again, I mentioned it's raining. We're about to have quite the blow. All right, so this floor appears to be a wood laminate. I'm sure it could be cleaned up. These doors do not open, and I'm not going out there anyway because this is the deck that you're dealing with. Holes and, well, that's raccoon poop, but I mean, there's boards missing, railings that are unsafe. I mean, this deck is just kaput. And I mean, even short railing, I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, this whole deck is a goner. Great view through the trees to the water. All right, but look at this space. You've got a beautiful wood stove in here. They've done a nice job with the tile around that. Big, tall ceilings, wood on the ceilings. Show a little bit of water damage by that window, but nothing really on the ceiling, which is good. You know, you can see where the floor has faded, where there was furniture. It's also really dirty, probably from them moving everything out. There's a screened-in porch area out here. That door might actually work. Let's see. I didn't even try this one. Oh, check it out. Look at that. All right, screened-in porch. Now, I don't know what this structure is for. I really don't. Got some damage out here, water damage. That board's popping off. No screens. I mean, there are no screens whatsoever on this screened-in porch. I'm not sure what. There's two of these little weird little things. There's this one here. I don't know if it's to divert water away from something. And there's also one on the, you might be able to see it from here. Yeah, over there. Hanging off that deck. I'm not sure what that's all about. Looks like she had some sort of pulley lift system right here. And that looks like squirrels, rats. We have tree rats here. Somebody is living in that hole. So you can see all their little claw marks from jumping back and forth to that hole. So lots of wires just sticking out of walls in places. Here's the kitchen. So again, kitchen number 2 here. You got a nice space for eating area. That is a door there to another deck space that I'm not willing to step out onto. I mean, it looks better than the other deck, but you've got these nice clear glass cabinets for see-through. You've got cabinets all underneath the bar area here. Some of these appliances might be original 1990s. You got a wall oven. I don't know. Oh, trash compactor. The refrigerator's newer. God bless the people that had to bring that in. And then you've got this range top looks new. Or newer. It's missing a knob on the fan part, but that might be separate than this part. That's all touch, so I would imagine it looks like induction cooking maybe. Cabinets look like they might be soft close. Nope. Nice sink. Gorgeous view out. I mean, there won't be when this tree leaves out, but again, that's trees probably needs to go. Tile floor in here. Lots and lots of cabinets. All right, so here's your main control for your Newtone music system, speakers and all that good stuff. Ceiling in here is wood, and it's a pretty gray color. It goes all the way over to here in that big giant chandelier. All right, now we have more rooms up here. Again, 3-bedroom permit. So what are these rooms? I don't know. This one has a lot of lights in it. Large space. View out to the street. And then there's a washer dryer up here. Lots of closet space. Washer dryer and a slop sink. Always nice to have. Tons of space in this house. I mean, for goodness sakes. More closets. Shelves. All right. Bathroom. Full bath. You have solid surface countertop. This big skylight up in here. That light's missing. And the mystery hose. So there's a hose. I'm thinking it might have something to do with the HVAC because there's a panel there for an interior HVAC unit. So maybe, or a dehumidifier. I don't know, but you got a hose that runs through the wall here and out the wall. Your guess is as good as mine. They used a regular hose. Here's a big tub, soaking tub. You have your music playing in here. Commode. And another nice vanity area. Closet space. I said, I'm sorry, I've tried every light switch in every room. More closet space. This is a giant closet space. And then there's this. Let me turn around here. So we're walking into what would be, I guess, another bedroom connected sort of to that bathroom or another living space. There's a door there as if it's a bedroom. So, I mean, there's a lot of spaces that you could call bedrooms in this house, but that could be from the air handler up there. It could be from a roof issue. I don't know. Vents. There's something in that vent. I'm not sure. It looks like a leaf. I don't know. This, would be a fantastic view out these windows. If the shutters weren't on, you would be able to see more. It looks like they've been here for quite some time, but you can see, let's get my camera in the right spot, down to the water from here. And again, that door not opening. Drywall's missing. There are newer looking screws in that beam up there. I mean, this house could be a structural nightmare. Here we're looking at the front side of that top floor with that deck that is no one's walking out onto. I wonder if that rail is lower so they could bring things in and out, but I don't know anyone would want to step on that deck. You do have that laminate floor in here as well. There's a few pieces that are delaminating. All right, so this is the house. There's a lot to it. There are floor plans available online to try to wrap your head around. There's water damage up here. I'm not exactly sure about that, where that's come from. Big structural beams up there. Just a lot to it. There's a lot to this house, a lot of great spaces, cool design function, beautiful live oak trees, canal front access, plus. But there's also a lot of money that's going to need to be spent here in order to make this safe and potentially structurally sound. All right, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to receive more videos like this one when interesting houses come on the market. Ask any questions, comments. I do check those, or you can contact me directly. My contact information is in my bio. And until next time, have a wonderful day.